Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago National Nurses Association, TTNNA, is threatening legal action against the North Central Regional Health Authority, NCRHA, over what it describes as illegal 4-hour shifts for nursing and midwifery personnel. Speaking with Guardian Media after the TTNNA issued a statement on the matter yesterday, Association President Eddie Stewart said the alteration of the shifts by NCRHA was done without any prior consultation or agreement with the union. He said if management cannot identify the policy, collective agreement, regulation, or contractual provision that authorizes the NCRHA to require nursing and midwifery personnel to report for duty under such an arrangement, they should refuse to work those shifts. Stewart said that he had sent a letter to the CEO requesting a meeting yesterday. However, the association's attorneys had already been engaged. In the statement, the association said the decision comes at a time when the authority continues to grapple with a severe shortage of nursing and midwifery personnel. The association further claimed that nurses are increasingly being placed in unsafe working environments, with some being pressured to work alone or in situations that fall below accepted standards of safe patient care. The association said employers cannot unilaterally impose new working arrangements that significantly alter established conditions of service without due process, consultation, and legal authority. Beyond the legal implications, the association said the decision has practical and financial consequences for staff. Weighing in on the matter, former Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan said that the RHA Act, the minister can, that under the RHA Act, the minister can give both general and specific directions to the RHA, or to an RHA. Khan, however, said an RHA cannot unilaterally make such a significant change to the nurses' working arrangements. NCRHA Chairman Dr. Tim Gopi Singh declined to comment, saying the authority would no longer be making any public comments on such matters and would instead focus on patient care. But what I heard online last night in the news is that the NCRHA officials did say, I'm not sure if it's Tim Gopi Singh himself, somebody else did say that this wasn't really something that was wide scope. It wasn't everyone that was being required to do this, right? I think it was an exception for specific individuals or whatsoever. I'm not really sure. Plus, they're also denying that there's any shortage because they hired more nurses recently or whatever. I am in the middle with this case because I don't really trust the this union either. They have done some very questionable things in recent times. When it was that during the protest time, they were telling nurses only to attend to a certain amount of patients, which to me was endangering the lives of others, because you know that you're understaffed or whatsoever. So when you're telling nurses to only attend to like 6 people or something like that, what happened to the 7th person? Is that person going to be neglected? I don't trust this Eddie Stewart guy either. So I don't know where the truth really is in this situation. I know that I don't trust this UNC administration again either. So I believe that's why I will stay in the middle when it pertains to this issue. Until I see otherwise, until I see actual evidence of what is taking place. In recent months, there have been ongoing disputes between the TTNNA and the leadership of the NCRHA over issues involving the union, its members, and the health authority. A lot of the concerns from the union are valid, very, very valid. One of their concerns was not at all, and which is where that particular RHA, the NCRHA, a lot of the nurses were receiving extra overtime hours and types of payments that no one else in the entire country was receiving. And that was wrong. The rate of their hourly overtime payment was higher than everybody else in the whole country. That was utter nonsense. And I don't understand how the rest of the nurses across the country were supporting that kind of nonsense. You all weren't getting it. You all weren't going to eat that food. So why you all were supporting that? But anyhow, otherwise, other than that, the working conditions, I totally support and I agree with that. When it pertains to a lot of these other issues, if this is true, that some type of new shift or a shift is being mandated, even though there's need for approval otherwise, I don't approve of that either. But once again, I don't know what is truth and what is lie when it pertains to this issue. All I know, I don't trust either parties. Not the nurses themselves when I'm talking about the steward, that leader of that union. I don't trust them. And I don't trust this government either. The disagreements have centered on stagnant salaries, staffing shortages, and working conditions. Neither Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo nor Minister in the Ministry of Health Richard Sicharan responded to requests from Guardian Media for a comment earlier yesterday, people. By sometime last night, most likely the report would have changed. I did not watch NCRHA last night. I watched Ian Allen's new news program. It was quite good. Needing a little improvement, but all that is part of it. Everything will get better as time goes on. So last night, what I heard last night on the Ian Allen news was that there was a statement made by the NCRHA officials, and they were denying that what the statements being made by the stewards to an extent is they did admit about the 4-hour shift, but as I said before, I think they were putting that in place for individual certain nurses that are enduring certain types of under certain circumstances. They're experiencing certain types of difficulties or health issues or some kind of thing. I can't remember exactly, right? All I know, it was not for the entire nursing population or anything like that. It wasn't for all the staff members. It was for individuals that were experiencing some type of circumstances and they were going to be given these 4-hour shifts or something so, right? So they did admit there's a 4-hour shift. But in other words, they're probably saying that the steward guy is exaggerating. I don't know if it is true. I don't know if what the officials are saying is true. As I said before, time alone will tell.
Trinidad and Tobago weather report for Thursday, July 23, 2026. On Thursday, July 23, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago will experience variably cloudy, slightly hazy, and breezy conditions. Scattered showers are anticipated, which may become heavier during the early morning hours, with winds gusting near those downpours. Mild Saharan dust concentrations are present, and individuals with respiratory sensitivities should take necessary precautions. Temperatures will range from a low of 24 degrees Celsius to a maximum high of 30 degrees Celsius, with the heat index making it feel like 33 degrees Celsius. Easterly to east-southeasterly winds will blow at 10 to 40 kilometers per hour. Marine conditions will remain slight to moderate, with open water waves reaching 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters. Sunrise occurs at 5:49 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:29 p.m.
Regional news now. Close to 30 teachers, mainly new members of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, participated in a one-week Summer Institute workshop organized by the union. Coordinator of the program, Oswald Robinson, said he hopes participants appreciate the effort made to provide training in key areas that will support their professional development and enhance their contribution to education. Try to train them to show a little more attention to their slow students in their classes. Don't just leave them behind and put them at the back of the class. A little, even if you cannot do it all the time, a little bit of individual attention to an extent. SVGTU President Fiona Charles Williams highlighted the importance of equipping new members and educational stewards with the knowledge and tools needed to support the delivery of quality education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Teachers who were new to this profession expressed appreciation for the opportunity to learn more about the work of the union while gaining insights into becoming more effective educators. The 5-day workshop was held under the theme Empowerment for Greater Collaboration and Dedicated Service.
We're also going to look at occupational safety and health later on in the week. So you see, Madam Deputy, we are sharing information that we got from the workshop, and our own workplace, we need to look at that. Even revisiting the Teachers Union safety policy to modernize it to suit going forward. Then we would also speak about pension reform. This is a very sensitive topic. And I always say to people, as soon as you step into teaching and you know you're going to stay more than 5 years, start to plan. Don't wait until you have 2 years left in the service. So pension reform would be dealt with.
So this is the first workshop that we are going to conduct on our own. Nevertheless, we have quality facilitators for you. Now, last year, as we observed, we looked, we listened in our various sessions, and we went back as an executive, and even with this new executive, we discussed, and we realized that a lot of our teachers, we needed to go back to basics with our teachers, and that is what we decided to do. So we decided to have this workshop, or tailor this workshop to empower our new members, because sometimes we don't know what governs us as teachers, and it is time that we really know what governs us as teachers, and we need to learn how to collaborate, not just in the classroom, not just as schools, but as a structure, as a union. How do we collaborate with others?
As a first timer here, my hope is to gain as much knowledge as I can about the Teachers Union, what they're all about, and get the training that I need so that I can build better myself, and also to take back information to my colleagues at the school that I am teaching.
I am here for the very first time. I came without knowing anything about Teachers Union, and so by the end of this week, I hope to gain as much knowledge and understanding of the union.
At the end of this workshop, I hope to gain confidence, a bit more confidence to properly man the classroom with the knowledge of how to cooperate with different students, because every student comes from a different background, different experiences, different family life, and I know that not everyone is the same.
In our hands lies the future of our nation, and what we do with our children determine the direction our nation will go. We either make or build the nation or break the nation down. So, as a male teacher, I will encourage our males to become more proactive and to get in the teaching profession.
International news now. The U.S. military completed an 11th consecutive day of strikes against Iran, Central Command announced early Wednesday. That is good news in my opinion. But once again, Trump continues to say that he's willing to have talks with the Ayatollah, willing to have talks with the Iranian government administration representatives, and therefore I don't trust him. I don't believe he's there to finish the job. I think he's just playing games. Time alone will tell. U.S. forces targeted Iranian military operations centers, maritime capabilities, aircraft hangars, drone storage facilities, and military logistics infrastructure to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Central Command said, CENTCOM said in a statement. CENTCOM also noted that Iranian forces have attacked over 30 commercial vehicles transiting the strait over the past 3 months. I'm telling you, all they really focus on right now is securing the Strait of Hormuz. It's not about regime change. So the Iranians really don't have anything to celebrate right now. With some attacks happening even during the period of the Memorandum of Understanding, which guaranteed free passage to all commercial vessels. Despite Iranian aggression, the Strait of Hormuz remains open for commercial vessels transit. Since early May, CENTCOM forces have helped facilitate the transit of approximately 900 commercial vessels and 450 barrels of crude oil, CENTCOM said. Yeah, but Trump, all this what you're doing is fine, you know, but you need to finish your job. Otherwise, if it is you want to just continue to fight and just keep the Strait of Hormuz open and fine, but it's costing your military officers their lives at times. When you if it is, just do the war, finish your job and done with it. But once you leave these radical jihadists in office in Iran, they're going to continue to attack your military officers who are in active combat, and also those who are in neighboring countries in their military bases. Trump, finish the job. The Pacific island nation of Nauru will open an embassy in Jerusalem, becoming the 10th country to establish an embassy in Israel's capital, eternal capital, people, Jerusalem. The embassy is expected to open in the coming months. Nauru recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital in 2019 and has long been one of Israel's strongest supporters at the UN. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar welcomed the decision, calling Nauru a true friend of Israel and saying the new embassy will strengthen ties between the two countries. Wonderful news. You will be blessed, Nauru.
Bible quote of the day. Psalm 95, 1-3. A call to worship and thanksgiving. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord, let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.